What happened to the village that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of its existence? Over 600 people lived there daily, only to disappear overnight. There were no bodies, no signs of struggle, just an eerie silence enveloping the land. Among the remnants of their lives, a cryptic message was found. What did it mean, and could it hold the key to their disappearance? This is the chilling mystery of Hoer Verde, a case that remains unsolved to this day. Join me as we uncover the secrets of the village that simply ceased to exist. As we delve deeper into this enigma, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think happened to Hoer Verde? It was 1923 when a group of travelers arrived in Hoer Verde, a small town in Brazil, expecting to find a bustling village. Instead, they were met with an unsettling scene. The streets were deserted. Doors to homes stood wide open as if people had left in a hurry. Food sat untouched on dining tables. Livestock roamed freely, unfed. The entire village was eerily quiet, yet there was no sign of violence, no indication of where the people had gone. A deeper search only made things stranger. Personal belongings were left behind, shoes lined up neatly by doorways, unfinished letters sitting on desks, and a single untouched cup of coffee still warm in one home, as if its owner had planned to return within minutes. What sent chills down the spines of those who discovered this ghost town was what they found inside the local school. Written in bold letters on a chalkboard was a haunting message: "There is no salvation." Who wrote it and what did it mean? Authorities were baffled. A town of 600 people doesn't just vanish. There were no signs of mass departure, no wagon tracks, no reports of an exodus from neighboring towns. The villagers had left behind all their belongings, even personal valuables. It was as if they had disappeared into thin air. Stranger still, there were no official records detailing the village's fate. No governmental action was recorded, no investigations made public. It was almost as if Hoer Verde had been erased, not just physically, but from history itself. Surrounding townspeople claimed to have heard strange noises in the nights leading up to the disappearance. Whispers carried on the wind, distant echoes of something moving in the darkness, but none of them dared to approach Hoer Verde, and when they finally did, it was too late. But what could explain this eerie disappearance? Let's explore the most chilling theories. Some believe the entire population of Hoer Verde was abducted, either by a secret military operation, a cult, or something even more terrifying: extraterrestrials. Could a powerful force have removed these people in one swift act? Some claim UFO sightings were reported near the area around the time of the disappearance, though historical records are scarce. If true, this would make Hoer Verde one of the earliest cases of a mass alien abduction. The idea of mass alien abduction isn't unheard of. In various parts of the world, small settlements have reported strange lights in the sky, unusual electromagnetic disturbances, and in rare cases, unexplained disappearances. Could Hoer Verde have been a testing ground for something beyond our understanding? But if something otherworldly was at play, why was the cryptic message left behind? And who wrote it? Another theory suggests a darker, more human cause. In the 1920s, Brazil was undergoing political turmoil, with conflicts between revolutionary groups and government forces. Some speculate that Hoer Verde may have been targeted, its population forcibly removed or executed to suppress opposition. If this was the case, where were the bodies? Why wasn't this recorded? Could the government have covered it up? In times of war, entire towns have been destroyed or erased from records to maintain political control. Some believe Hoer Verde might have been one such casualty, a village caught in the crossfire of a secret war that history has chosen to forget. But this theory still fails to explain the most haunting part of the mystery: the complete lack of evidence. If an army had come through, there would be signs: bullet holes, burned homes, displaced objects. Yet Hoer Verde remained eerily pristine, as if its people had simply walked away. Then there's the possibility that Hoer Verde was plagued by something not of this world, something that caused mass hysteria or drove the villagers to flee into the unknown. Legends from the area speak of strange whispers in the night, figures seen lurking in the forests, and an unnatural silence that blanketed the village before it was abandoned. Could a curse, a demonic entity, or a vengeful spirit have driven the villagers away? In local folklore, there are tales of an ancient evil that roams the forests of Brazil, an unseen force that can drive people mad, whispering to them until they succumb to its will. Some believe this entity took hold of the town, forcing its inhabitants into the wilderness, never to be seen again. And then there's the chalkboard message, "There is no salvation." Was it a final warning, a desperate plea, a confirmation that something unnatural had come for them? Some have even speculated that Hoer Verde was a victim of time itself. There are eerie stories of places where time warps, swallowing entire towns, leaving behind only whispers of their existence. Imagine a scenario where people simply vanish as if they had stepped through an invisible doorway, slipping into another dimension, a place beyond human reach. Could it be that Hoer Verde found itself caught in a temporal anomaly, lost to the fabric of reality? Similar tales echo through history, like the mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle or the enigma of the Roanoke colony. Another wild possibility is that the village was part of a secret experiment, one that went horribly wrong. Throughout history, the sudden disappearance of people has often been linked to military tests and covert operations. Could it be that Hoer Verde's fate was sealed by an unknown government operation, shrouded in secrecy? Imagine the village bustling with life, unaware that it was the site of a clandestine experiment. What if the government was testing something, perhaps a new technology or a psychological study, only to have it spiral out of control? What kind of experiments do you think could lead to such a drastic outcome? To this day, no one knows what really happened to Hoer Verde. Theories abound, but the mystery remains unsolved. How does an entire village vanish without a trace? Why was there no sign of struggle? And most importantly, what did the chilling message, "There is no salvation," really mean? The town itself has been lost to time. Many claim to have searched for it, but modern maps do not show any place called Hoer Verde. Some say it was renamed, others insist it never existed at all. Was this village truly wiped from history, or has it been hidden for reasons beyond our understanding? What do you think happened to Hoer Verde? Was it a secret government cover-up, a supernatural force, or something even stranger? Some stories are whispered as warnings. Others are told to keep you awake at night. But then there are stories so eerie, so unexplainable, that they make you question reality itself. This is one of those stories. It happened on a cold November night in Beijing. A bus set out on its usual route, heading for the fragrant hills, but something was different this time, something unnatural. By morning, that bus would be missing. The driver and passengers would never be seen again. And what happened during that ride would become one of the most terrifying urban legends in China. But the question remains, was it just a legend, or was something much more sinister at play? It was past midnight on November 14th, 1995. Beijing's Route 375 bus made its last trip of the night from the Yuanmingyuan bus terminal, heading toward the fragrant hills, an area known for its misty forests and ancient temples. The streets were empty, the air crisp with the bite of approaching winter. Only a handful of passengers sat inside the dimly lit bus. At the next stop, 3 figures waited in the shadows. When the doors opened, they stepped inside. Immediately, something felt wrong. They weren't like normal passengers. 2 of them stood on either side of the third, gripping his arms as if holding him upright. They wore old, tattered robes that billowed slightly despite the still air. But it was the third figure that made everyone uneasy. His head was bowed low, his face hidden. His movements were unnatural, stiff, almost lifeless. The bus driver glanced at them in the rearview mirror, his brow furrowing, but he said nothing, just another strange encounter on the night shift. The doors shut. The bus rumbled forward. Silence filled the air, thick and heavy. One passenger, an elderly woman, kept glancing nervously toward the new arrivals. She gripped the edge of her seat, her fingers tense. The other passengers whispered among themselves. Something about these new riders felt wrong. Then, as the bus passed under a flickering streetlight, the light washed over the 3 figures, just for a second. And that's when one passenger gasped. Their robes weren't just tattered, they were ancient, torn at the edges, covered in dust. And the third man? His feet weren't touching the ground. Panic began to set in. The old woman was the first to react. She stood up and turned to the young man sitting beside her. "That driver is going the wrong way," she snapped. "He's taking us somewhere we shouldn't be." The young man frowned. He hadn't noticed anything strange about the route, but before he could respond, the woman grabbed his arm. "We need to get off, now!" The young man hesitated. The next stop was still a few minutes away, but something in the woman's eyes made him uneasy. When the bus approached the next stop, the woman grabbed him and yanked him toward the doors. She shouted at the driver, demanding to get off. Annoyed, he pulled over. The doors hissed open. She practically shoved the young man outside. As soon as they were on the pavement, the bus took off again, disappearing into the night. The young man was about to scold the woman for her paranoia when she turned to him, her face pale and eyes wide. "They had no feet!" A chill ran down his spine. "What? Those men, they weren't alive." The next morning, Route 375 failed to arrive at its final stop. Authorities searched for the missing bus. It had simply vanished. Then hours later, they found it. It was miles away from its route, abandoned near a remote reservoir. The inside was a scene of horror. The seats were slashed open as if by claws. The driver and conductor's bodies were inside, lifeless, their faces frozen in expressions of pure terror. But the strangest detail? The police reported that the bodies showed no signs of decay, despite being dead for over 48 hours. But how could that be possible? The bus had only gone missing the night before. The mystery of Beijing's Route 375 has never been solved. Some believe it's just an urban legend, a cautionary tale told to keep late-night travelers wary. But others, they're not so sure. Some claim the mysterious passengers were ghosts, spirits of the Qing dynasty, long dead but still wandering the earth. Others whisper about a darker possibility: the bus had crossed into another realm, a place between life and death, a place few return from. And then there are those who believe the government knows more than they're saying. The official report was suspiciously vague. The incident was quickly dismissed, the wreckage removed, the story buried. But what if the truth is even stranger than we think? The road is quiet now. The buses still run their routes, but late at night, when the streets are empty and the wind howls through Beijing, some say you can still hear it. The hum of an engine, the flicker of headlights in the mist. And if you ever find yourself waiting for the last bus of the night, be careful who you sit next to, because some passengers never left. Was the Beijing Bus 375 incident real? A supernatural encounter? A government cover-up? Or just a chilling urban legend? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you ever take the last bus home at night, stay safe, because some rides never end. Thanks for watching. Good nightmares and stay scared.